My boyfriend is obsessed with me, and I am tired of it. I, 23F, have been with my boyfriend, 24M, for 3 years now, and in the start, everything was perfect. A little backstory: he moved abroad 6 months ago, and since then this has been an LDR. Since he moved, this situation has gotten even worse. He is very loyal, very loving, and from the looks of it, he's the type of guy that any girl would want, and many of my friends say that he is the perfect partner and the greenest flag. However, behind the scenes, our relationship is pretty different. Since the start of this year, my boyfriend has started to get way too clingy and obsessive over me, especially after moving abroad. He wants to be with me all the time. He wants to talk all the time, text all the time, call all the time. When we meet, most of the times he just wants to make love. He expects me to call him even when I am with friends. He wants me to stay up late talking to him all night long. We have a huge time difference, and I go to the gym and work the rest of the day, and by the time he gets off work it is already 3 a.m. where I live. He gets upset if I reply late to him and says that even while at work, he constantly checks his phone minute after minute to see if I have responded. He says that he wants to get married ASAP, and I tell him no because he hasn't even finished college yet and isn't settled. He tells me that he understands it, but whenever I say no when the topic of marriage is brought up, he gets upset and feels like crying. He does not have any real friends, he hasn't started college yet, and just goes to a 9-to-5 job. He also has no hobbies. He thinks about me the entirety of time at work. He tells me he stays up at night thinking about me, and basically that he's thinking about me all day long. He constantly tells me that he misses me to the point I feel guilty for even having a job or being busy throughout the day. It feels like his entire life revolves around me. When we're good, he constantly love bombs me like this and tells me how much he loves me, prioritizes me, or how special I am, to the point where he doesn't even want to make any new friends or do anything. On the contrary, when we are in an argument, he acts like a completely different person. He sometimes lashes out on me, but mostly he multiple times repeats what issue he has with me. At times he becomes egoistic and ignores me. When there is a misunderstanding and I'm trying to make up understand what went wrong, or if I am trying to communicate to him something that is disturbing me, he finds some way to turn it around on me and put the blame on me, and ends up playing the victim card. He ignores me, acts dumb, and shows that he has a big ego. He gaslights me into thinking that what I said or did by sharing my feelings was wrong. I have to beg for him to understand me, and he still wouldn't do it. It got to the point where I stopped sharing my feelings with him and agreed to whatever he had to say. He always fails to understand what the issue is and expects me to specify it to him, even if it is very obvious. I hate doing that. I expect him to sometimes just understand me without me having to give explanations on what exactly happened. I, on the other hand, am a very introverted person and don't like to text or call all the time. I do have friends, but I rarely text them, never call. With him, I rarely ever feel like being on the call due to this. I need space and me time, and this is something he clearly doesn't understand. It has gotten to the point where I literally feel suffocated in this relationship. I can't even have a day to myself or the freedom to sleep whenever I want anymore. I know that if I communicate this with him, he will end up getting extremely upset, somehow turn it around on me by saying that he loves me and that I don't prioritize him. He will guilt-trip me into believing how much I hurt him by saying that I don't always feel like texting or calling. I feel like this is turning into an unhealthy obsession, and he seems to call it love. I love him a lot, but I'm getting tired of this. I feel like this relationship is literally draining me now. I know that if I decide to leave him, he is going to be extremely distraught and will pretty much ruin his life. What can I do to make this better? How can I communicate to him in a way that he doesn't take this negatively and end up turn it around on me? Is this fixable, or is letting him go my only option? TLDR. I've been in a 3-year relationship with my boyfriend, but ever since he moved abroad 6 months ago, things have changed. He's become clingy and obsessive, wanting constant communication and prioritizing me over everything. He gets upset if I don't reply quickly or talk about marriage, and it feels like his life revolves around me. When we argue, he blames me, gaslights me, and turns everything around, making me feel guilty. I love him, but I feel suffocated and drained. I'm unsure if this relationship is fixable or if I should let him go, as I'm afraid of how much it would hurt him.